that's a spot right there.
We know exactly how that feels at Diamond FM with good conversations, music, and top entertainment that touches your soul. It's radio like no other. Diamond FM, shining supreme.
The time is 9 o'clock.
Aago mẹ́sàn-án ti lù.
For the best of national, local, international news and sport. Tune in to News Punch and Diamond 88.7 FM. News Punch, all about the news.
It's 1 minute gone past 9 a.m. Good morning and thank you for joining us on today's edition of News Punch on Diamond 88.7 FM Ilori, where we bring you the trending stories across the globe. I am Tobi Adebisi, and here are the stories making waves across the world this morning. In Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari has tasked all ministers in his cabinet to continue until May 29, when President-elect Bola Tinubu will be inaugurated as his successor. This was confirmed by the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, on Wednesday. Mohammed also noted that the Federal Executive Council (FEC) hasn't been dissolved yet. Still in Nigeria, the federal government says Nigeria has now requested. The federal government says Nigerians can now request their commercial banks issue them with debit cards that doubles as their national identity card. Professor Issa Pantami, Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, disclosed this and added that the issuance comes at no cost. Pantami stated that the approval was obtained at the meeting of the Federal Executive Council, which was presided over by the President Muhammadu Buhari at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. On the foreign scene, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has filed papers to launch his 2024 presidential campaign. DeSantis was considered a rising Republican star but has seen his prospects dented by months of relentless attacks from the former president Donald Trump. The 44-year-old right-winger filed his documentation with the Federal Election Commission ahead of a live-streamed Twitter chat. And then sports, Nigeria defeated Italy in an end-to-end encounter at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup Argentina 2023, courtesy of Salim Fagulawal's diving header and Jude Sanders' last gasp finish. The result means the Flying Eagles qualify for the knockout stage on 6 points, while the Azzurri are on 3 points after 2 games apiece in Group D. That's all we have for you in this edition of News Punch. Up next is the Diamond Breakfast Show, where we bring you the analysis of the stories. Please stay with us.
The major talking points in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at smaller countries taking lead and you call yourself giant of Africa. Yeah.
Nigeria don't spoil my business too much. Nigeria is too hard for us. I mean, I want to kill us. Father, not kill us for Nigeria. Oh, please, help us beg them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place the spotlight on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can you hold Indomine? This is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice genuine democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people. The major talking points in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at smaller countries taking lead and you call yourself giant of Africa. Yeah.
Nigeria don't spoil my business too much. Nigeria is too hard for us. I mean, I want to kill us. Father, not kill us for Nigeria. Oh, please, help us beg them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place the spotlight on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can a government, how can you hurt Indomine? This is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice genuine democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people. The major talking points in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at smaller countries taking lead and you call yourself giant of Africa. Yeah.
Nigeria don't spoil my business too much. Nigeria is too hard for us. I mean, I want to kill us. Father, not kill us for Nigeria. Oh, please, help us beg them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place the spotlight on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can a government, how can you hurt Indomine? This is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice genuine democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people. The major talking points in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at smaller countries taking lead and you call yourself giant of Africa. Yeah.
Nigeria don't spoil my business too much. Nigeria is too hard for us. I mean, I want to kill us. Father, not kill us for Nigeria. Oh, please, help us beg them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place the spotlight on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can a government, how can you hurt Indomine? This is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice genuine democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people. The major talking points in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at smaller countries taking lead and you call yourself giant of Africa. Yeah.
Nigeria don't spoil my business too much. Nigeria is too hard for us. I mean, I want to kill us. Father, not kill us for Nigeria. Oh, please, help us beg them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place the spotlight on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can a government, how can you hurt Indomine? This is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice genuine democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people. The major talking points in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at smaller countries taking lead and you call yourself giant of Africa. Yeah.
Nigeria don't spoil my business too much. Nigeria is too hard for us. I mean, I want to kill us. Father, not kill us for Nigeria. Oh, please, help us beg them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place the spotlight light on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can a government, how can you hurt in the mean? This is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice genuine democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people. The major talking points in Nigeria are always on.
From the studios of Diamond 88.7 FM in Lorry, this is the Diamond Breakfast Show.
You're welcome back to the Diamond Breakfast Show, happening live on Diamond 88.7 FM, and it's such an amazing morning to do this with you again. I have with me in the house Mr. Abiodun Akinwumi, who is going to be doing justice to the topics for us this morning. How are you doing this morning?
Good
Mr.
morning,
Abiodun?
Tobi, and good morning to all our listeners.
And it's so nice to have you in the house today.
Thank you for having me again.
I'm so happy to be doing this with a brother of mine.
Thank you very much for having me.
So, we're like we said that the major talking points are always on the lips of everyone, and there are issues that are pressing right now. I think the first issue on the minds of people right now is the issue about inauguration. I mean, everyone is waiting. Everyone is waiting to. In fact, I see different memes now. They say, "Oh, don't do this." The new president might come and say, "Oh, this." Yeah, I don't love that. So it's something beautiful to wait for. But at the same time, there were issues on ground before the inauguration came on board, and President Buhari's special advisor, media and publicity, Femi Adesina, has said that the security improved under the current administration, despite decries from, different sectors of the country. The spokesman, the special advisor of the president on media and publicity, is coming out to say this at this time. What would you make of that?
Well, the special advisor to the president is entitled to his opinion. But if you assess the current administration on security, I think we all see that they have performed woefully as far as security is concerned in Nigeria. By the time they came to power in 2015, the problem majorly facing Nigeria was the issue of Boko Haram and the insurgency in the northeastern parts of Nigeria. But so far, so good, they have been able to degrade it to some extent, but it has skyrocketed into issue of banditry, castle rustling, and attack in almost every part of Nigeria. For instance, in the southwest, now we have the issue of kidnapping on almost all the federal highways, though it has reduced a little bit during the election. Also in some part of northwest, Kaduna, Sokoto, we have issue of banditry. We have some part of Nigeria presently that some banditry are even the one controlling some federal highways in Nigeria. As we speak, even in Niger State, very close to us, some part of that state is being controlled by bandits. We have some places that they have to pay those bandits to be able to have access to their farms. So this is the reason why we're having food crisis in Nigeria. So you have the right to rate the government, and you cannot expect a spokesman of a president to speak against his principle. So it's obvious that he's trying to justify his principle. But as far as we are concerned, as a Nigerian, as a journalist, we all see with our face how security is being handled in Nigeria. Even in Kwara State, as we speak, we have some issue of itches, though Kwara State is still relatively peaceful, and it's part of state that is peaceful in Nigeria. Close to us, Niger State, they're having their crisis. Thank God it has not moved to Niger State. Even Kwara State, even Kogi State, they're having their own security issues too. So as far as security is concerned, but the president has not done anything good at all.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Abiodun, for that introduction. We're going to be examining some grounds on which maybe the special advisor to the president made that assertion. And very importantly, we're also going to be branching into the Naira redesign policy, because some are even saying, oh, the Naira redesign policy was one of the reasons that in the latter days of this administration, we experienced some kind of stem down in security challenges. But I'm going to put a peg on that while we'll go on a short commercial break, and we'll be right back. Do not forget that you can be a part of the conversation through WhatsApp and through your text. Please send in your text to 091 3655 6864. Again, 091 3655 6864. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Diamond FM, radio made for you.
Colors, they add meaning to our lives. From birth and naming of a child.
May your life be rich and potent as the red palm oil. Amen.
Colors tell of the feelings in our hearts.
Aww.
Through rainbow-like roses or even bubbly emojis. Colors speak of our distinctive ancestry through the shade of our skin. Colors are in the bright garbs we wear to impress, or the deluxe coat we give our buildings.
Wow, this is so beautiful.
And with our proudly Nigerian deluxe paints now available in any color, express your world however you want it. Visit a Deluxe Color Center to get any color instantly.
Deluxe, let's color.
Diamond FM, radio made for you.
You're welcome back, and it's still the Diamond Breakfast Show on Diamond 88.7 FM. Before we went on that break, we started speaking about the statement of the special advisor on media and publicity to the president, Femi Adesina, who said that under the current administration, the outgoing administration, in a matter of about
less than 5
72
days.
hours now, saying that the nation experienced a better security issue, a better security atmosphere under the current administration. Now, speaking about security issues and experiencing a better atmosphere in that area, like I said before we went on the break, that some people say that when the Naira redesign policy came up, we saw a stem down in kidnapping and abductions. Very quickly, what would you say about that?
Though the issue of Naira redesign reduced the issue of kidnapping, because by that time the issue of Naira was scarce. So, and you cannot kidnap people and expect them to go and get the money. And kidnapper, they cannot use the issue of transfer because they can be easily traced. So what they depend on is bring the cash. So, and we all know that able to do normal transaction that time, you cannot be able to see cash. So that one is understandable, that those kidnapping is reduced. But you cannot say because you want to reduce crime and inflict pains on Nigeria, pains that cost the lives of many Nigerians, pains that turn some people to beggars, because some people are petty traders. What they depend on is buy and selling. Okay, some people their market is not more than 10,000 naira. Those are selling pepper, those are selling vegetables. They go to the market, buy vegetable worth 10,000 naira. They will sell it, make 15,000 naira. That's what they use to feed their family. So they don't have account number. Some business like that, they have collapsed because of this naira designing. I know someone that is selling fruit close to this place. What it depends on is the selling of fruits. By the time the naira design started, people that are buying from him, they used to give him naira. And the bandits don't have account number. Less than 2 days, these are perishable. The business collapsed. The man has not recovered till now.
Wow.
So how can you now, because of security now? So this understanding is part of the problem of this administration, and because of that, I will score them low.
All right.
Now,
thank you.
You have a good policy, but if the execution is bad, what is the good in the policy again?
All right, thank you so much. Very quickly, we saw many issues. I think one of the things that people usually always talked about this administration is in the area of addressing issues. We've had various security challenges come up, and then the address we get from the government is not was not what we expected. How would you rate how the the current administration addressed security challenges?
The way they address security challenges is below average, because when we have challenges, we are talking about things that affect the average Nigerians. Where there is insecurity, economy cannot thrive. Where there is insecurity, people cannot go to school. We have the issue of kidnappers invaded some schools, kidnap. It was this that we have this issue of Dapchi kidnap, school girls. So a lot of where there is insecurity, you expect that those places will be in chaos. Now, the way they respond, we don't expect a government to respond to it is to make sure that they build for the security. And if you have a security collapse today, we don't expect the same thing tomorrow. But what we have is a security challenge that we have in some states that spread to almost every part of the country. Because I don't think there's any state in Nigeria that's not experienced the issue of kidnapping, banditry, all this attack by so-called herdsmen, though we should not stereotype them. So, but the issue is the way they respond to it is something that is need more to be desired. It's very bad. At times, before the president will even issue statements, it will take maybe 2 or 3 days before they issue statement. If they issue statement will be below the expectation of what we expect from a president, because we are talking about lives of people. Lives of people. It's not someone that can die today and tomorrow wake up. So, as some family has been destroyed because of this issue, we have a situation where they will attack people that are even praying in mosque. They wipe out some families. And even recently, last week or last 2 weeks, they even attacked some places in Plateau State. So, and even the incoming governor in Plateau State was even saying some of people are not even Nigerian. So we know that security is even part of the problem the coming president will inherit from this current administration. So it's really bad. And this is part of what we advise the incoming administration to face the issue of security squarely. And they should also address the issue of removing the security from the concurrent list to the residual list. So that states and local governments will be able to address this issue. Because locally, security is grassroots, security is local. You cannot sit in Abuja and be controlling the security in Kwara State. Now, Governor of Kwara State is the number security officer in this state, and does not have any security architecture under his control. So if there's any issue, maybe a traditional ruler called the governor that in my area I'm seeing strange faces. Governor have to call the commissioner of police. And the commissioner of police did not get direct from Abuja, he cannot act on it. So this is part of the issue why the issue of governor or Tom and president, that's why they have intercation in the past. That they will call the president or the security architecture that we have information that some people want to attack some part of Benue State, and at the end of the day, they will not act. And at the end of the day, these people will still attack those places. So we expect the next administration to address it, because this is part of the problem they will inherit come Monday, May 29, 2023.
Wow, come Monday. I love that language. Come Monday. Thank you so much, Mr. Abiodun. And do not forget that you can be a part of the conversation. We're talking about the security, challenges in the country. Now, talking about responses to the attacks, to the challenges that we've witnessed, the Nigerian military and security forces have been involved in various operations to combat insecurity. Sometimes they'll come out and say, oh, we succeeded, we recorded this level of success, and other times we don't hear anything. How would you evaluate the effectiveness of these operations, and what support or reforms are needed to enhance their capabilities?
I think the Nigerian army, they are overwhelmed. Because even initially, they are not supposed to be part of the internal security system. The military, they are designed and wired to take care of external security. Maybe we want to have external aggression. So when we have political campaigns, when we have elections, they are not supposed to be part of it. You have insurgents of parts of some states, they are not supposed to be part of it. So, but what we are having is they are facing Boko Haram in the northeast. If you go to all our highways, you will still see them there facing kidnapping. So if you see that the number of military we have in Nigeria compared to the number of Nigerians that we have, and the problem we have in Nigeria, you know that they are overwhelmed. And issue of kidnapping are issue that Nigerian police should be able to take care of. But as it is today, it's the Nigerian army that is taking care of all these things, and that's why they are easily overwhelmed. And it will be an advice to the coming administration to make sure that they localize the security system in Nigeria. Localize it so that governors, they need to take care of some of these issues. Even traditional rulers, as we speak, they don't have any role in the Nigerian constitution. I know that these people are closer to people in the grassroots. Now, even the country that all our leaders travel to for this medical tourism, to go up to take care of their family, they know that in all those countries, they localize their security architecture. UK, they have sheriffs that are in charge of even an estate, communities, and you cannot live in a area in UK without the sheriff in the area noticing you. So if you are parking to the area, they will know you, they will collect all your details. So if you are traveling there and you see that security is top notch, you can copy that. We have ballets, we have all this ballet magaji in our area. If we inform them, if we constitutional all these things that they are part of the security architecture in your area, if you have any security breach, you'll be held responsible. So these ones, they'll be able to give government intelligence. Okay, this is what happened in my area. Do even all these workers, they even know the number of people in their area. Landlords, do you even know the work of people that are living in your houses? So these are things we should make sure that we localize it. Federal government should reduce all these powers and make sure that they centralize the security system so that governors, they will have. That's the only way we can. Even if we like it, we can double the number of armies we have in Nigeria. They are over and they continue to be overwhelmed until we localize the security architecture. We are living in Amsterdam. Okay, who is in charge of Amsterdam? Who is the ballet there? Report every issue to, and the ballet too, we have people that will give him a report. So the ballet will give reports maybe to the alarm guy in the area. Those will give it report to the emir, and they'll be able to. Before we have this system, we have all these emir that are in charge of their locality, and we don't have any security breach.
All right.
So we have it. So looking forward, but the part of your question is that how can the army be better? The only way is to make sure we localize the security system so that all our traditional rulers, they will have a role to play. And if you have any problem in the area, you can hold them responsible. They are part of the security system. So once you localize it, our security issue will be better in Nigeria.
Thank you so much. I see that. I love that you dwelled on decentralization of power when it comes to security matters in Nigeria, and I think that that's one of the ways to go if you want any progress in this issue. Let's get some reactions from listeners at home. 09136556952. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Oniboje calling from Ilorin.
All right, thank you so much. Let's get your reaction.
I want to raise an observation which is saddening my heart right now.
Okay.
Pertaining to your jingle for this program. It is too bad that you portray Nigeria in a bad manner, where somebody is shouting that do they want to kill us in Nigeria, that they should beg the government of Nigeria. That is bad. UK or developed countries don't portray their country like that. Please, I would be very happy if you can remove that phrase from your jingle. That's number one. Secondly, I want to disagree with your guest based on the security issue we are discussing. In the north, let me say Borno in particular, 17 local governments were occupied. I mean occupied, where nobody, no Nigerian can live before this administration came in. But now, there is no a single local government in Borno where you can find the Boko Haram. Now telling me that this government has failed in terms of security, I think your guest need to go to the north and see things for himself. I lived in the north for over 30 years. We can't pray in north during this insurgency period in the mosques without being checked if you are with a bomb or you are with a gun. You cannot go to a viewing center to watch football without looking at who is sitting next to you. But as I'm telling you now, you can pray and watch your football in a peaceful manner without anybody checking you.
All right.
Is that not an improvement? Now, coming back to Kwara, I want to say that some, or let me say, patriotic people are not happy that we live in Kwara. If you live in these places I'm telling you, you will know that God has really done well for us in Kwara than being castigating or maybe little things that will happen in terms of insecurity, and we start blaming everything and condemning everything. There is no country in the world that is